MP, over here, over here. We know MP came ready to play.
And going through their pregame warm-ups, trying to get loose and greetings, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. And in the second game of a back-to-back, how much does that affect the player's energy level?
Well, the better conditioned you are, the less it's going to affect your energy. That's why I love back-to-backs. It separates the men from the boys.
And MP has made his goal clear. He has his sights set on beating the top teams in the league because he knows to be the best, you have to beat the best.
And some would say, careful what you wish for, but he is undaunted, embracing the challenge and saying, I want all the smoke.
A look at the opening lineup for Washington. We've got Kyle Kuzma. He's out there with George. Jonas Valanciunas out there with Kispert. And it's Cowboy in at the point. And the 76ers with possession. Maxey with it. His last outing, we saw him score 22. And it's in there.
Obviously, this guy has a talent for scoring. Able to problem solve for whatever the defense tosses at him.
And he gets it to go.
Yeah, give credit to Kuzma for taking the contact so well. Excellent work powering the shot through.
Maxey with a screen on George. George, no good. The Wizards have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Pass to Kispert. The 3. Joel Embiid with the board. The 76ers have gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. For 3, Maxey. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Recognize the D is closing in. Maxey's letting it go.
Well, Grant, you often hear about how smooth Paul George's game is.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Young players can learn a lot by watching his footwork. His timing, his ability to find the space he needs, it's just tremendous.
And George with the jam.
And just good hustle. Always nice to get an easy bucket on the break.
And making sure they convert by finishing strong.
Kuzma up top. Sinks the tray. Kuzma's got his second basket on the night.
Oh, good seeing Kuzma knock it down from deep. Wanting to keep getting better from there.
It's George on the wing. Pass to Mamukelashvili. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Washington. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule. They lost to the Rockets.
Everyone expected them to come out and dominate that night. Maybe they underestimated their opponent a little. Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
The Sixers trailing. Maxey surveys. Fires the 3. Great start so far. 3 of 3 in this one.
The number of threes are increasing for Maxey since he entered the league. He is getting more comfortable out there.
Here's Cowboy. Maxey covering. And it's Cowboy missing.
And he's usually able to score on that type of defense rather easily. Surprising to see him come away empty.
Oubre, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. And Washington will go for a different look here. Bagley's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Sarr comes in for Kuzma. Baldwin's checked in for George. And it's Coulibaly in for Kispert. Now here's Maxey. Give him 8 points now. Pass to Gordon. 1:50 left in the first quarter. George outside. Clock at 6. Three-pointer off the mark.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Thanks. Well, the Sixers this summer signing Paul George to create a star trio, along with the great value signings around the edges, Philly is widely regarded as one of the league's most improved rosters. And guys, this team is poised to compete with the league's best. They have a big three, and they have a real chance now to win a championship.
No doubt about it. Appreciate the update. Thanks, Shams. Philadelphia has gone just 2 for 6 from the arc here in the first. Pass to Gordon. Maxey on the wing. 55 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The Wizards with a lead. Here's Cowboy. He had a 36-point outing in their last game against Houston.
Putting others before himself, racking up assists. Hey, I wished I played with more guys like him.
And a miss there on the triple. The 76ers shooting just 36% here in the first quarter. He takes it in, goes up and lays it in nice and easy. Cowboys got 9 points.
Breakdown for the defenders, and you can't ask for an easier bucket than that.
George peels it out a bit. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first. Late clock, the Sixers need to put one up here. And it's Maxey missing. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Wizards leading by 4. And we'll get... If you're just... Substitution here for Philadelphia. Mamukelashvili's checked in for Martin. Paul George comes in for Oubre. Gordon, he's checked in for Lowry. And it's Tyrese Maxey in for Paul. Here in quarter 2, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Gordon. Pass to Embiid. Gets another look. Yes! Embiid from it close.
And I love how they're working much harder on the glass this quarter and drumming up more second chance opportunities.
Eric Gordon is out there with Tyrese Maxey. Then there's Paul George. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Mamukelashvili in at the 4. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Cowboy in that last game against the Rockets really lit up the floor. He had 36 points and he's a tremendous three-point shooter. We saw that again last game. He was such a difficult matchup in that one. We'll see how he follows it up tonight. Brian?
Yeah, he was unstoppable during certain stretches. It'd be great to see him top that performance tonight.
Well, his team needs him to contribute. When he's on his A game, he just makes play after play.
Expect them to go to him early and often. Don't want to let that hot hand go to waste.
The Sixers lead by 7. George passes to Embiid. Lets a floater go. It's rebounded by Washington. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of the 76ers this year. Rejected by George.
Yeah, rejecting the try there. George firing up his guys. That's 2 fouls in as many quarters. He may have to adjust his approach now.
All right, guys, what do you think so far on the offensive approach for the 76ers?
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
Man, they're just having their way, bullying the other team in the painted area, imposing their will down there whenever they want.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for the Sixers. Oh, another basket for him. He's 6 of 11 now.
And off the jump, they were effective from deep. I don't know why they haven't continued to fire from out there.
And so it's Paul who brings up the ball for the 76ers. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Phoenix.
I really think that L has to fall on their defense, or a lack thereof. Just not enough focus at that end of the floor.
Some of it was solid shooting from their opponent, but they didn't have any teeth with their defense. Need to be more active than they were.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Philadelphia leading by 5. Now here's Maxey. Give him 8. Pass to Mamukelashvili. Here's George. Philadelphia with another miss. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. Philadelphia on On top, up by 5. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
Welcome, everyone.
Once they gain position underneath the backboard, it's hard to push them out of there.
And even when they don't have position, they have guys who will knife in and
And next up, here's a look at some of the contenders for the fan-favorite three-point contest. Thanks, as always, for watching. Let's head back to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the second half.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one, as both teams trying to gain an edge. Well, Grant, you played on some very tight-knit teams. Talk to us about chemistry.
Well, B.A., in some sports, chemistry is not a big issue. But in basketball, it is huge. You have to trust and believe in your teammates, and it has to be a unit, not 5 separate individuals.
And so in the game for Washington, Kyle Kuzma out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Corey Kispert. Then there's George. And it's Cowboy in at the 1.
He can really stroke it from deep. You have to keep better tabs on him.
To the left wing. Here's Embiid. Rebounded by Kuzma.
And imagine how good they'll look if he can start to chip in a bit more offensively.
Here's Cowboy. Can't tie it up. That one misses.
There's no way that's the best look this offense can produce.
And you couldn't get a better shot off? Like, come on, you got to make the extra pass. Like, being a teammate will go so far in this league.
And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. And what a breakout 4th year for Tyrese Maxey. Named to his first All-Star game in 2024, Richard.
When the Sixers traded away James Harden, it really opened up things for Maxey. Gave him the ball more responsibility, and you know what? He showed up. No surprise there. He's about as automatic as it gets from the stripe. I hope I didn't jinx him.
And we've got a timeout from Brian Keefe. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. And a chance to see the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Always fun to see where everyone in the league stands. Taking a look at the 76ers, they slipped a bit. Still in the top 10, though.
Right now for Washington, they've really exceeded all expectations, showing they're capable of so much more than some believed.
And there's the 8-second violation as they can't get it across half court in time. A moment here to see the numbers for Eric Gordon.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. And you can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
For 3, Maxey knocks it down from distance. Maxey's got 5 points in the quarter.
Watch out when Maxey finds his groove like this. He'll just keep coming at you and at you.
And the basket by Cowboy.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
And so it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He's going to talk it over with his guys. He's checked in for Washington. Well, you'd rather not put these guys on the line. The top free throw shooting teams in the last month. In third, the 76ers.
And looking at last month, this team really got it done from the charity stripe. Whenever you fouled them, they made sure to make you pay for that mistake.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
You gotta love Tyrese Maxey's approach to the game. He said, quote, "I really have a simple life. I have this joy about playing basketball. I like putting in the work, so I'm extremely focused, extremely competitive, and I'm out here having the time of my life. I get to do what I love every single day, and it's a blessing," unquote. Brian, he's such a positive guy.
Yeah, he really is. Thanks for that, Allie.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
Gordon finds Maxey. Back to Gordon. 5 on the clock. Pulls up on the wing, and that one off the back of the rim and in. And it's a 9-point Philadelphia lead.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
The only time he should take a shot like that, shoot around.
I'd like to know what he was thinking. Did he think? Nah, he couldn't have thought that was a good shot. That was an awful shot.
A chance to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Here's Cowboy. No good on the 3.
You know, some people could say he's struggling on offense this period. I like to think of more of drowning. Just can't seem to find his confidence.
And so it's George with it. He brings it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. They lead by the biggest margin of the game at 9.
Yeah, muscling his way for the bucket. George doing what he does best.
There's a minute 54 left in the third quarter of the game. Kuzma, that's good.
He's getting after it, but needs some help if they're going to get it done.
Pass to Embiid. Now here's Maxey. Buckets. He's now 6 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, he's been having his way this quarter, attacking the basket and protecting their lead.
And timeout is called by Brian Keefe. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Both teams will make substitutions. Minute 32 left in the third. Philadelphia leading by 6. Kenyon Martin is out there with Kelly Oubre. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Chris Paul. And it's Lowry in at the 2. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Four on the clock. Launches it. And it's Coulibaly with a rebound.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
And the basket by Cowboy.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
Philadelphia shooting 41% in this game. Paul passes to Oubre. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. That'll belong to Kyle Kuzma. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the 76ers.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
You also can't ignore the good job they've done rebounding on the offensive end tonight. That hustle has been well rewarded with second-chance points.
And that one falls for Oubre. And the 76ers making a change here. Gordon's checked in. And so Oubre nails them both. The Wizards trail by 5. Here's Cowboy. The 3. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight.
You wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the glass.
Gordon finds Embiid. Washington with a rebound. Well, they've got the Bulls ahead of them next in Chicago. That'll be the second of 2 games on the road. That shot wide open. Cowboys got 9 points now in the second half.
That's exactly the kind of shooting you need down the stretch to win games.
And a little over a minute and a half gone by in the fourth. Pass to Martin. Got it. Good job in the low post. The Wizards have gone 2 of 3 to open the fourth quarter. Here's Cowboy. And the Wizards with another 3.
Wow, 5 consecutive threes. This defense looking very frustrated right now.
Paul passes to Oubre. Right side, Coulibaly to take the lead. Rebound by Philadelphia. Embiid's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Martin outside. Back to Paul. Shot clock at 6. Hits the trifecta. And the 76ers lead by 4.
What I like about Paul is he picks smart shots to take, especially when they're behind the arc.
Here's Cowboy. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Cowboys got 30.
He's done so much damage from beyond the arc, and he's still hitting those big shots.
And the defense has to know that taking away his three is the #1 priority, and he's hurt them all game long with that shot. It makes no sense.
And so it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. Some changes for Philadelphia. Mamukelashvili's checked in for Martin. Paul George comes in for Oubre. And it's Tyrese Maxey in for Chris Paul. Jonas Valanciunas is checked in for Washington. George comes in for Coulibaly. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse had to say to the team. Coach was urging his team to play strong defense, reminding them no easy hoops, give effort, and help when needed. They do say defense wins championships, guys.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. For 3, Maxey. It's rebounded by George.
Oh, he really wanted that triple. Even though he missed, I really like the competitiveness I'm seeing.
Pass to George, to the inside. A minute and a half left in the fourth quarter. Screen by Embiid. For 3, Gordon. Tipped away. And so it's George with it. He brings it up for Washington. 2-point game. And it's Kuzma finishing it off.
Oh, not one to lack confidence. Kuzma won't hesitate to pull the trigger in the big moments. Not afraid.
Pass to Embiid. The kick out to Maxey. Philadelphia with another miss.
And sometimes on defense, you can just get lucky.
Here's Cowboy. Count that bucket. And now it's a 6-point Wizard lead.
Just outstanding distribution. This is the kind of team chemistry that you love to see.
Maxey passes to Embiid. Shoots over Valanciunas. Embiid can't hit.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
Yeah, and the risk now is that he gets inside his own head. Time to take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and let the game come to you.
And here's Kispert from the arc. And that one goes. He's now recorded his 5th bucket in 8 tries.
Stepping up and nailing an important shot to put this away.
And that score probably slams the door for any would-be comebacks. And look, they put this one to bed.
Embiid finds Maxey. Philadelphia with another miss. And Washington with possession. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth. George with the block.
I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure we can close the book on this one.
Yeah, they fought as hard as they could. Just wasn't in the cards tonight.
12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now they decide to foul intentionally. First free throw is good. And that makes it a 7-point lead.
At the line for the Wizards.
And so he drops them both. And it's an 8-point ball game. Philadelphia calls timeout. They're losing by 8. All right, guys, what's your take?
And time's running short. They just couldn't get over that hump.
And I'm sure coach is encouraging them to play to the final whistle. Then they can get out of here.
76ers ENT.
Here's Maxey. Tries a 3 off the inbound. And connects from downtown. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. And now we've got an intentional foul.
That's his 2nd personal foul.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
At the line for the Wizards, number 20.
So he can't get either to fall. Pass to Gordon. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. So we see the Wizards get the win here. They played
game, another win. Back to work tomorrow.
Crowd looks hyped tonight. Better come with it.
Hey, MP. Your world. We just live.
Enjoyable and incident-free. If you're having an issue at any time that needs to be addressed, please text the word Wizards along with your issue and seat location to 55555. A member of our guest relations team will respond and address your concern immediately. If you still want to be a part of any Wizards upcoming home game, then please visit us online or the ticket booth for available tickets. Want to join us for another Wizards home game? Secure your tickets tonight. Check out the ticket windows on the gun floor. The National Basketball Association and your Washington Wizards are committed to a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We therefore...
Hey, MP, how's it going?
Man, I'm good, bro. But you know I still want that jersey, though.
You want to try again, huh?
Of course.
You don't learn, do you? Sorry, I got to do this.
It's an exciting Sunday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight we'll see the Washington Wizards as they play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. Also joining us from the sidelines, David Aldridge. Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Aaron Wiggins is out there with Holmgren. Then it's Lou Dort. Then there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Joe in at the 2. And for Washington, we've got Bilal Coulibaly. Cowboy is out there with Kispert. Then there's Marvin Bagley. And it's Kuzma in at the 4-man position. Tries the spin move. Clock at 4. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the layup falls. And Greg, when you're facing the front of a back-to-back, how much does that affect you as a player?
Before and after the game, for sure, it's on your mind. But once the whistle blows, you have to live in the moment. You can bet the coaches. Are very aware of it. And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Joe. He had 15 points last outing. Now here's Holmgren from the arc. Buries it from three-point range.
Well, the very definition of a stretch big, right? Chet Holmgren comes in with the reputation as a spacer.
Here's Cowboy. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Kuzma, that's good.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Chatted with Brian Keefe. He said SGA has this special ability to lull a defender into a slower pace and then suddenly make a quick move that leaves everybody just standing there. Coach feels the attention has to be on him. He wants to force somebody else to beat them. Guys?
Thank you, David. Last season, the Thunder finished as the 1 seed for the first time since 2013.
Yeah, and that was when they were led by the young duo of Durant and Westbrook. But they've got a new group of young stars now who are looking to bring that first championship to OKC. And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Outside, Dort. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Can't hit from in close.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity.
And Bagley able to finish.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. With the break in the action, let's go to the 2K leaderboard. These teams have been dialed in defensively this month. Fifth on the list, the Thunder.
What a month they've had defensively. I mean, they've really gotten after it on that end of the floor.
Up top, Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Wiggins. Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander on the follow.
Well, you love that SGA putting that athleticism to work. Go hit the glass.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's deflected. Kuzma. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Bagley with the block.
And a skilled shot blocker to boot. Love how Bagley uses that height and reach to stifle shooter. And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
Here's Cowboy. Last time out, he had 38 points. Puts up a deep three. That doesn't go either for Gilgeous-Alexander.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
One guy who now seems to be a perennial MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Doris. He is rocketing up the charts.
He is, Kevin. There's no doubt about it. He can consistently put 30 on you like it's absolutely nothing. He gives you everything else as well, including incredible leadership and great teammate skills.
And the Thunder making a change here. Hartenstein's checked in for Aaron Wiggins. Little comes in for George. Cason Wallace, he's checked in for Isaiah Joe. And Topic is subbed in for Gilgeous-Alexander.
And guys, you can't allow Holmgren to gain confidence from the mid-range. He'll burn you when you give him those looks.
Here's Cowboy, and he jams it with authority.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot. Greg frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
And here now the Thunder after the basket by Washington. Oklahoma City moving it around. Wallace misses. Washington leading now by 7. Here's Cowboy. Oh, that's blocked. And they'll keep possession. And that one is good. 30